your day right with a laugh and a song. The morning buzz with Travis, where you belong. Where you belong.
Let's jump into some chaos, shall we? By the way, we're in the middle of a 2 for Tuesday. Just keep in mind what you just heard. To China we go. A man in China was detained for multiple thefts of women's high heel shoes. What's going on in China? It's like the Florida of the world. Have you noticed? Police received a tip and searched the man's house where they found more than 180 pairs of high heel shoes. What? The man's high heel hobby came crashing down after a woman called the police saying that she had lost 5 pairs of shoes that had been placed outside the door of her home. When police checked security videos around her apartment, they saw a man in a blue t-shirt rummaging through the shoe cabinet at the door. Police began to search for the guy's personal information and entered his house to arrest him. 180 pairs of women's high heel shoes. Now, I can think of only 2 reasons the man would have those shoes, and neither one of them are very flattering.
Time now for today's Bozo News of the Day. Now, this one is, it's from a year ago. But, years gone by still produce bozos. And this is a story, no way you've heard it. No way! Today we head to Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia, to be exact. Apparently, a flight from Syracuse to Atlanta over the Thanksgiving holiday in years gone by was delayed because a woman was breastfeeding. You may say to yourself, Self, how does a woman breastfeeding delay a flight? She was breastfeeding a cat. A cat. A darn cat. According to my sources, the woman in seat 13A was swaddling the cat in a blanket. Oh my gosh. Trying to get it to latch on. And she refused to put it back into its carrier. Are we still talking about the cat going back in its... Okay. What in the world? What is wrong with people? How is this not a mental illness? Y'all, forget the fact. Let's just try to overlook that it's an animal that she's trying to breastfeed. It's an animal with really sharp teeth. What in the world was this lunatic thinking? I'm going to go out on a limb and say this woman is single.
Here's a sad story if you're a car guy. Advanced Auto Parts said last week it will close about 500 stores by mid-2025 and cut some jobs under a restructuring effort as demand for vehicle parts takes a hit from fewer consumers opting to repair their cars. The automotive industry has had a difficult second half of the year, burdened by what has been. No, I'm sorry, it just rolls off the tongue. Burdened by inflationary headwinds and stiff competition from Chinese automakers putting out affordable yet feature-packed vehicles. It's not only that. Look, and this story tries to blame it all on the economy, but as much as I would like to blame it on Joe, it's not all Joe's fault. You can't work on your car anymore. I mean, nothing. There's anything that you get a warning light, you've got to have a computer that, reads codes, and even if you have one of the little handheld ones, it tells you what this code means or what it could be. Like, you can't, there's no more just going out and changing the oil. I mean, I can still do that some, but there's no adjusting the carburetor, filing points, anything. It's just too much. You have to be trained in what you're doing. You've got to be a computer technician as well as a mechanic. So I don't blame this exclusively on the economy. Yeah, it doesn't help. But the fact that people can't work on their own cars anymore. I mean, it's like taking someone who used to work on a NASCAR race car in 1983 and putting them on the crew of a modern-day Formula One car and saying, hey, make this thing go faster. What? It can't happen. But yeah, Advanced Auto Parts closing about 500 stores by the middle of 2025.
It sounds unbelievable, but we promise it's true.
Crazy!
Here's today's crazy news story of the day.
All right, pay attention. Stupidity's running wild. So this chick is some sort of baking YouTuber, and she just smoked her dad on her channel. I don't mean that she hit him with some kind of insult, smoked him. They didn't race, and she smoked him. Pay attention. She usually sticks to simple baking without drugs, but in this case, Rosanna Pansino, who has over 14 million YouTube subscribers, decided to get baked with her father. What? In her first episode of her podcast, she smokes her dead dad. She smokes her dead dad's ashes to honor his dying wish. 39-year-old cook Rosanna Pansino says her father's dying wish was for her to grow a marijuana plant with his ashes and then smoke him. So 5 years after he passed away from leukemia, Pansino lit a joint and had a puff. Nope. His dying wish, and I'm going to smoke my dead dad. Now, let's be clear. The ashes were in the dirt that she grew the marijuana plant. I'm not saying that this is fine. All I'm saying is it's not like she rolled up his ashes. I don't think. Let me look. Oh, no. It did have particles of her father in it. Somewhere Jeffrey Dahmer saying, why didn't I think of that? Y'all, what's wrong with people? How does this even... And look, it's not just the daughter. If the dad really did say this, what's wrong with him? Maybe he's a Willie Nelson fan. We've already heard from Willie, but Willie has a song, Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die. That is today's crazy news story of the day. YouTuber smoked her dead father in a joint in accordance to his dying wishes.
Rock your